No! No! You! But I want to.
Nice. Very good.
I'm glad you approve. I'm Marilyn Harris.
And I'm Percy Smith.
And welcome to Victoriously Crazy Podcast, the podcast where crazy is in the name.
That's right. Deal with it.
I know. So you know it's going to be wild. I am so excited about the podcast we're having today because we have two special guests. We have Lily and SillyWilly. Oh, yes.
That's funny, isn't it? It work out like that, huh?
That's the name.
Lily and SillyWilly.
SillyWilly is going to protect her identity because she's going to be talking about some very personal things. She wants to share her experiences because there are a lot of GrandFans out there that are going through different things. Lily has dealt with bullying, which is something, And you have such a sweet demeanor. I couldn't imagine anybody wanting to bully you. Yeah. And I mean, SillyWilly, you have such a great sense of humor. I would never guess that you were dealing with the challenges that you've been dealing with.
Amen. For real.
You are two very special ladies. Percy?
Yes.
Why don't you start off with Lily?
Okay, Lily, please share your bullying experience with us if you wish.
Okay. I was bullied at school because I was thrown down middle stairs. I was thrown rocks at. It hit me, it hurt me in the head, cut me in the head. And they told I was there was guards there, so I'd always sit next to them every day just to hope for the best, that I don't get bullied. And if they weren't there, I was I had nowhere to escape. All of the doors were locked.
Oh gosh.
And I was pulled by the hair. I was pulled by the jacket when it was really cold, and I had nowhere to go. And it was just super sad. And they said, just can't do it. So I was no. When I was so
yeah. So were they boys or girls or just girls?
They were boys. There were 4 boys who were bullying me.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it was I was super sad, and all the doors were locked because of course they don't want kids running around in the school. So I had nowhere to escape. I was just running, and I had nowhere to go.
Wow, that's crazy.
Horrible. Back when I was in school, they would say that if a boy messed with you or bullied you or pulled your hair or something, they liked you, and that was their way of showing it. It's totally different now.
Yeah, it's not cool, man. That is not cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And see, I have all daughters, so I'm getting upset right now. I couldn't imagine that happening to you, Lily. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you went through that. So, SillyWilly, can you please share your health condition with us?
Her health condition is called Di-Georgi syndrome, and it's Q22. She is missing a link in one of her genetic codes in the 22nd chromosome. She's missing just a little tiny link in there.
And so that tiny link, I mean, what are the symptoms of it? I mean, how does it affect SillyWilly physically?
She was born with a bunch of health issues. She wouldn't grow. You know how you feed a baby and they just grow and grow and grow?
Yeah.
Yes.
She just wouldn't grow. And so I, as her mom, was a manager of Claire's. So she was born sick. They said she'd be fine, that she had a small hole in her heart. If she wanted to be an Olympic athlete, this doctor told me, it was a heart specialist, that she could be, and she was fine. But, when you feed a baby and they just normally grow and get fatter and chunkier and cheekier, she never did any of that. She never grew. And But at like 6 months when I worked at Claire's, they said if you want to pierce their ears, that's the time to do it, is to pierce their ears about that time, so that way they don't mess with them. And she has them her whole life, so I pierced their ears. Well, I took her to a doctor appointment like the next day, and her doctor just lost it on me. Like, kids with heart disease don't get their ear pierced. They could get a massive infection in their heart and die. I'm like, I had no idea she had heart disease, because they told me if she wanted to be an Olympic athlete, she could. I'm like, so the next day I called our Akron Children's Hospital, and they was able to fit me in the next day. So I got her straight up to the hospital, and they said no, her hole in her heart is large to moderate. There's no way she could be an Olympic athlete, and they wanted to like keep an eye on her.
So the ones that told you she could be an Olympic athlete, were those doctors?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a special heart specialist, because we live about an hour north of Columbus. And so Columbus is a big metropolitan city, and we're not. So we were supposed to be so lucky that this doctor was here,
And
Yeah.
he turned out not to be that
Right.
good.
Yeah. But we found some really great doctors at Akron Children's. They did monitor her. Finally, when she turned 1, she went up a shoe size, and I just cried. She was in size 0. Like, when an infant comes home, that's the size 0 shoe that they're in.
So that's how you could tell that she was getting better, that she was at least growing.
No, she wasn't necessarily getting better. She didn't get better physically a little bit until her heart surgery, and she had that at 18 months old.
Wow. So Percy, your next question for Lily.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. It shows it's good to have a second opinion.
I know.
So I believe in that with all my heart. Okay. Lily, your second question is, how did you and your family try to stop the bullying?
We tried everything to stop the bullying. So we tried talking to the teachers. They said they couldn't do much about it. So they put me back of the line and put me in a single table. And I felt very lonely and isolated. And we tried to talk to the parents of the kids who were bullying me. And they said they can't control the kids. Like, they can't do anything about it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's just, I don't understand. And then they said, like, we can't do anything about it. And I felt so sad. Then when the bullying was carrying on, then my mom said, I think it's best for you to be homeschooled, because you're like, I'm worried about you, and I don't want you to be like this, and I don't want this to happen to you anymore. So I was like, all right. And then, yeah, I was homeschooled, and the pandemic hit, and then everybody was homeschooled.
Okay, don't mess with Lily.
But that's so irresponsible to tell a child that can't do anything about it. Are you kidding me? That's I can't believe that.
Unfortunately, you hear that a lot. I think it's more about they raise their child that way. I'm not judging anyone on how they raise their children, but I just can't grab the fact that they said they can't do anything about it.
I can't fathom that.
Yep.
It's all right. It's going to be okay. Yeah. It's going to happen. So we're going to deal with it.
We just keep going, and that's why we like to name the podcast "Victoriously Crazy," because no matter how crazy it gets, we're going to be victorious. And we're going to keep going.
The picture may go crazy, but you can hear our voices.
Yeah, I'm still here. I could sing when it happened.
Okay.
Then that way you know.
Don't.
I'm a better actress than I am a singer.
No, Grandma, don't
sing, Silly
sing.
Willy.
No.
I see you shaking your head no.
Yeah, she said no too.
So, Silly Willy, explain your typical day dealing with your health challenges, or your mom, if you're more comfortable with her doing that.
The winter is very hard for her. She has arthritis, and it's literally in her blood. So she was born with it. And so she gets very weak in the winter. Like this week she went to church, and the guys had to carry her out before church was over because she just couldn't move no more. Like, it just gets so bad, and she gets so weak from not being able to move so much that she was in a wheelchair for like a year. probably a year or two before the pandemic, and then we was able to get her in physical therapy. Matter of fact, I think her last physical therapy session was the week that everything shut down. And now she's starting to lose mobility again because it's getting winter, and the ups and downs of this weather is really, really hurting her. And so she's in too much pain to move, but then the moving causes her the weakness. Do you know what I mean? So
it's like a catch-22. It's like either way.
Yeah.
So what does the physical therapy involve? Is it stretching your limbs and, just movement? Because you mentioned the word movement a couple of times.
Well, it's just a workout, specific workout for her knees and her legs. They get very weak. And now that this has happened to her again this week, to where she had to be carried out of church by like just two guys. Luckily, they were there to help her. You know what I mean? She goes to church with her grandma on Sundays, and there's no way her grandma could carry her out. But luckily, these guys were able to. So now we got to call and get her physical therapy started again.
Wow.
Because you could tell when she doesn't have it because of the weakness that is intensified. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Were the guys handsome that carried you out? Oh yeah.
No, she probably wasn't thinking about that.
Yes, she was.
You crazy. Yes, she was. Don't worry about the glitches.
Oh no.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
In and we're out.
Lily, what gave you the idea for your business?
So me and my mom do this ritual where we go upstairs, light a candle, and watch our favorite show, Friends. But we noticed the candles that we were using had the nasty ingredients in them. Yeah, so we researched, and it gave us headaches.
What?
So we made our own wax melts. And that didn't have the nasty ingredients in them. It didn't give you headaches. So when we did that, like, friends and family started to order because at first they were terrible. After months later, we got the hang of it, and friends and family started to order, and then Lily Lose Aromas was born.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're looking at a genius right here, right? You're a genius. I'm going to give it up.
Curious about the nasty ingredients. Can you remember what those ingredients are that's bad for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's parabens in them. So so when you smell the candle, it can cause cancer for you.
What?
Yeah, and then the phthalate is phthalates is, I forgot what phthalates are.
I'll remember that though. I remember that.
Yeah, phthalates are very bad, and it's just they hurt your internal lungs. So make sure you
read those candle labels.
Read those candle labels.
I will from now on.
Yes.
Yeah, because we had 2 jar candles we were just burning because they smelled good.
Yeah.
No more. Oh, thank you, man. You saving our old. See, we're old and we need to know stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bless you, darling. Oh, man.
I don't want to lose any time. I'm serious.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Great.
SillyWilly, what is it that inspires you to stay positive? Because I never would have guessed that you had so many challenges going on with you.
Yeah, she really loves people, and she loves connecting with people, and so you being kind to her has been so sweet. So we thank you and appreciate you for that. But
she's kind to me. I mean, seriously.
She really loves people. She loves her grandma's been her best friend her whole life. They love hanging out together every day. So her grandma takes her shopping, takes her to church. I love doing crafts, so she's gotten kind of that crafty gene. So she likes doing crafty things. She's a big designer. She likes designing clothes. So we bought a sewing machine and trying to help encourage her when she feels good to let's go to Joann Fabrics and buy some fabrics, and you can maybe try to design something, because she does get bored. But there's no way that, don't want to say no way, but to send her to a job to where she would have to stand or bend, or like those things would just be so painful to her body with the issues that she has, that it just wouldn't be fair to an employer or to her, for them to get mad at her for not being able to do something when, I mean, she looks adorable. When you look at her, you can't tell by looking at her.
It's obvious that she's a creative with the things that she likes to do. And I find it interesting about the clothing line, because there's so many fashions out there and we don't know anything about the people that create those fashions unless they become like ultra famous. So you never know the outlet that a person has that helps them deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with. And I mean, look at Lily. I mean, the way you came up with your business, and it wouldn't have happened if you weren't homeschooled as a result of being bullied.
Yeah, so a negative can be turned into a positive.
Yeah, that's what God does.
And she still got a great, I mean, you look like she was a great sense of humor. She got a great spirit, and that's a wonderful thing. And I'm sure that comes from the parenting, because you have great parents, but obviously those bullies didn't. Tell us, what do you like most about your business?
I love the fact about my business that I help people prioritize for their mental health and their self-care. I really like to be creative in the things I do, so I like to come up with some new scents, some designs for my labels, and really like to create because I have ADHD and I'm running around doing everything. So that's kind of what it is.
I have no idea how a candle is made, and you mentioned scents and all that. So you just smash up some flowers and throw them in some wax and stick a wick in it, or I mean, how does that work?
So I create it. So basically I put I don't know, I do my favorite things. I'm what's my favorite thing? So I what my favorite flowers are. So I'm oh, that's my favorite flower. And then I go. And then if I go into a shop and I see this flower scent, I'm that's the flower scent that I really, really like. And so I buy that, and then I just pour it into the wax, and then I pour my candle with my wick in it.
I knew it.
I knew she'd have a wick.
I know.
It was
I've
imperative.
never seen a candle without one.
It's imperative. What is your best-selling product, Lily?
Definitely the Happy Birthday.
Oh.
So it smells like buttercream frosting and birthday cake.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, and it smells. So we have a whip on top, and we put sprinkles on them, but the whip is wax. So I want to say who can't have a birthday cake without sprinkles?
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great, man.
It sounds delicious.
I know it sounds like, so I wouldn't want to eat it, right? It makes me think I want to eat it because I love cake and icing. Oh my goodness. All right, your next question for SillyWilly.
Is there any advice that you would like to share with anyone that's dealing with a serious health condition? I guess Mom could help you with this one, Mom. You're right there by her side. What would you tell someone, a parent or someone that has a daughter like you have? What pitfalls to avoid, something that you could kind of just wrap up and give them, inspire them, give them hope dealing with something like this?
Well, my thought would be to not have expectations on somebody. You know how you expect somebody to, at this age they're going to do this, at this age they're supposed to do that, at this age, I've been with my husband since I was 15. We met in high school, but that's not a place to where Kate is at 23. Do you know what I mean? So you just can't put 22, but okay. Well,
that's right. Year. You correct her.
You gotta say Mom straight.
So help them where they are.
Yeah.
What if what they're doing is different than what you expect for them to do? Help them with what it is that they want to do, whether it is a group that they're into that you might think that, oh, well, that's not the group that they should be into. Maybe they should be into older music or older TV shows or older things. It's just not where they're at. Like, don't try to hinder them, but then pushing them isn't gonna help, because that's just not where they're at. To support your child where your child is.
How do you deal with that, Mom? What is your support system that you have? Do you have a lot of family that's helpful, or if that's not too personal to ask?
Oh no, that's fine. It's hard balance. People think that people should be at doing certain things at certain ages, and to where I try to appreciate where she's at.
Yes.
And say, okay, well, this is what you're into. I want to support what you're into now. Eventually it might move up or be different, but that's not the current. Like with her, she made a dress with her grandma this year. Last year. But her grandma helped a lot with it. SillyWilly picked the design. SillyWilly picked the pattern. SillyWilly, but grandma helped with the sewing and that type of stuff. And so I keep trying to tell her that, people do that as well. Like, people will design and then give it to somebody else to make, trying to help her where she's at. Like, she might not necessarily be into the sewing aspect of it. So you're helping her in both ways, in both aspects of what she wants to do and what she can do.
That's a delicate balance. Mm-hmm. I wish I knew how to do that when I was working. I would like to have been able to tell my boss what I can do and what I can't do. I can collect my paycheck. I can't come back on time from lunch.
You stop
that
it.
Was just the way it was. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, you crazy. All right, Lily, is there any advice you have to share with anyone being bullied?
I would recommend you to talk to a teacher, a guide counselor, and a parent. Make sure somebody can support you in what they're going through. So make sure to tell anybody, don't be scared. So, yeah, that's what some advice I would do. And also, don't let anybody let you down. When I was bullied at school, I didn't tell anybody, but so I had to speak up. So because if I speaked up, somebody could help you, somebody could have a problem, and they would fix it. But I didn't, and I really regret I did. But so make sure they tell somebody about the situation they're in, and then they can fix it, because if you don't tell anybody, then that will actually carry on. So, yeah.
Well, I'm really proud of both of you.
Really?
The way that you handle what you handle in your life. And it's just amazing to me, the strength that both of you display in dealing with what you're dealing with and what you're doing right now with yourselves. It's just, so many people complain about things and they have no idea what someone else has gone through. And when they find out what they've gone through, it makes them realize how insignificant it is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so happy that you're here. And it kind of, I don't know if I answered your question, SillyWilly, but why are you doing this podcast?
I don't know. My friend Marilyn asked me to come on.
Aren't you sweet? I'm glad you said yes, because I don't know about anybody else here. I have learned so much.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah. Because we both have children and we had to go through certain things. But my daughters, I mean, they never told me about going through bullying, and I don't believe they did. But, I couldn't imagine for a little girl what it's like. But I'm glad you're getting through it, and I'm sure you have a strong home base that's going to help you go through it, Lily, and appreciate that. And Kata, you have a loving, caring mother and grandmother, and that's a good thing to have.
That's a blessing.
I'm telling you, so don't take any of them for granted.
So same question to you, Lily, why are you doing the podcast?
Yeah.
I would like to share my story and inspire others. Because when I was bullied, like, I didn't want to go through that, and I don't want any other people to go through what they're going through. So I want to share my story and inspire others, because when I was little, I had nobody to look up to and nobody that I was inspired. But I'm that person to thousands of people.
Oh, what a wonderful heart you have.
I mean, the two of you, we got the sun and the moon.
That's right, baby.
Right here. It's like shining so bright.
It's all light, baby.
It's all light.
Mm-hmm.
It's all light.
I have some things I want to say to both of you. So, Lily, just a question, because I think we all know that everybody who gets bullied goes on to do the most amazing things, right? You're experiencing that right now. So what do you want to say to anybody who might be going through the same thing? Or I don't know if you have a message to the people who may have bullied you, or what do you want to say to anybody who might be going through the same thing as you, because you have come out on the other side and you're doing so well. And it must feel so amazing to see that you have proven those people wrong. So what's your message to anybody who might be going through the same thing right now?
Well, I always wanted to say this one. Like, if you can dream it, you can be it.
I like that.
Like, I'm a 9-year-old and I wanted to be inspired, and so I really want to inspire others. I want to inspire those kids and say, like, never let anybody get you down. Like, you can, like, if I'm 9 and I can do it, you can do it too.
That's right.
So I've always wanted to say that. And to my bullies, I don't like you.
And you know what else you could tell them, Lily? Yeah. One day you'll be working for me.
Or burning my candle. And what about you, SillyWilly? Mom, is there anyone like that you want to say anything to?
Yeah, the kids in school that are different than you, to befriend, to make friends with them, so they don't feel so alone. They don't feel so isolated. I remember Kata, she never really grew a ton. So in kindergarten, she was still smaller than the kindergartners. And you're tiny in kindergarten. And the kindergartners used to pick her up, and because she was so slow, she said she would get, people calling her, what did you say they called you?
Second grade, but slowpoke.
She was just so much smaller, so much slower. She was in pain. She didn't understand. So to just be friends with people and to just slow down and to really listen to others.
SillyWilly, you have been a master of overcoming obstacles. And so it makes me wonder what you would have to say to somebody else who is overcoming obstacles similar to you. What's your message to them as they are also going through challenges?
She's so sweet and so kind, and everybody just loves her that gets to speak with her. So to just know that even if you're still going to be in the same pain tomorrow, people are going to love you. People are going to want to talk to you. People are going to want to be friends with you. There's always something little that you could do to look forward to tomorrow. So just keep looking forward till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, SillyWilly, you have a wonderful mom. So I just thank you, Mom, for being there for her.
And God never gives us more than we can handle.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Lily, before we go into the Andre's Grandma Acts Out skit, do you want to give contact information regarding your business?
I have a website, but make sure to follow me on Instagram because it's Lily Lou's Aromas.
On
Same
TikTok
name?
and Instagram. Okay.
I'll make sure I follow and post that one with the whipped cream and sprinkles so I could
I want that.
fight the screen.
I want the whipped cream and sprinkles.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's called, that's why we need Bennett. It's called Happy Birthday.
Happy
right?
birthday.
I always, whenever I get, if there's an ice cream shop or a cookie shop that has a happy birthday flavor, I always go for that. So now I know which candle I need to get.
Okay, me too, man. I want it. I want it.
All about the sprinkles.
Yeah, I noticed when she said sprinkles, you start smiling, and I'm like, dang, Danny, what's up, man?
Ever since it gives me the flashbacks to the very first time I was in an ice cream shop as a kid, and they said, "Do you want sprinkles?" And I went, "Yeah, I want sprinkles."
Who doesn't?
And he was the more kid. Like
That's
that commercial, they had more, and it's piled up this high, and the lady is still saying more. And she's like, yes.
And SillyWilly, I just want to say to you, pink is such a cool color, and I'm going to dig out everything that I have pink, and I'm going to be rocking pink.
My favorite color is pink, so.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's why you guys are together.
Lily and SillyWilly, same color love.
And
wow.
not the YL in your name.
That's too
it's
funny.
Just too much.
Yeah, see, that's nothing but God right there.
That's right.
That's right, man.
I love it. Okay, so let me explain to you what's going to happen with this Andres Grandma skit. Percy's going to hand me a bowl of grapes, and I'm going to be afraid of them for a very strange reason. So if you want to say something, if you want to get involved, that includes you, Mom.
Yeah.
You know, like, why are you acting like that? It's just grapes, or it's okay, whatever. Or you can just watch. But we're not going to go too far overboard with it, but it's going to be crazy.
That's right.
Can we tease for all the Victorious fans out there, if you guys love Victorious, what we've got coming up next Wednesday?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys remember the I Party with Victorious episode. Any of you guys listening or watching out there, do you remember that panda that was running around chasing Andre with a tennis racket? You never got to know who was under that costume, did you? Well, we're going to meet the panda. You're going to find out who was under that mask. We're going to get to know him. We're going to find out everything about that panda. So tell your friends that Wednesday, March 15th, what is it? 12 years later, we are going to get to know the panda.
The panda.
On Victoriously Crazy, exclusively on Victoriously Crazy podcast. You don't want to miss it. The panda will be here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Bennett found a panda. I think he threw bamboo in the street or something. I don't know how it happened.
I absolutely love Victorious. I've always watched it. I'm like the biggest fan. I'm like, yay!
And here you are.
Bam. Got Grandma in the house.
And SillyWilly, you're both big fans. Do you have a favorite episode, Lily, that you on Victorious? What's your favorite episode? Or you just like them all equally?
I absolutely love them all. I
That's
can't choose
wonderful.
one. I just love them.
Oh, you're like Bennett. I mean, he knows stuff I don't know.
I know. Bennett, boy.
It's crazy.
SillyWilly, do you have a favorite episode or a scene?
They're so good because we can say that.
They're all funny. They're all extremely funny.
Punch the computer like you did in Wi-Fi in the sky.
I should.
No.
Since this is like the last time.
Yeah.
The last time. But, it's only done this bad once or twice. And we would always say, technical difficulties have occurred during this podcast. But this podcast is called Victoriously Crazy. So if it's crazy, we will be victorious over it.
Yeah. And if it happens while she's doing what she's doing, you'll still be able to hear her. So
yeah, because we do have listeners, and I will be descriptive in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So even though you won't be able to see me interact with grapes.
all right. Roll. Grandma, you said you wanted some grapes, right?
What?
Yeah.
Away from me!
Oh, come on. What? What's wrong?
Don't you know about grapes?
What about them?
They evil.
What?
I only eat them if they skin. They got mouths
What?
and eyes.
Now, what are you talking about? You asked for them. Now here they are. Come on.
How come he doesn't understand? How come he doesn't?
Go ahead. Come on.
They can talk. Watch.
They can't talk.
I'm gonna prove it. This bowl that you got them in.
Yeah.
I don't care. They can get out. They can get out and they can talk. I'm gonna prove it.
There you go. Now see.
Ow!
You got to be kidding me.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? They can talk. If you eat it, it'll make you tell your secrets.
Here you go. Insane.
I don't want those.